and everywhere else where they're growing plants and food and lots of fruits and vegetables for all of us to eat. My name is Jim Kurtz, and this is The Profitable Farmer, and I'm going to be talking to you about how to make your farm more profitable. Now, I mentioned this a year ago, and some people who were lucky enough to watch our episode that we did on EMC credits, or basically research and development credits, had a chance to take advantage of several savings opportunities in agriculture. Now, there's quite a few people that were able to do this. Quite a few people already know about the R&D tax credits, but for those of you guys who don't know, I wanted to let you know what this is. So, the federal government and many state governments also have special credits or tax credits that you can get for doing research and developments. Now, there are, of course, your regular standard deductions of expenses and that kind of thing, but these are special credits for research and development. And the idea is that the federal government and the state governments want you to be an efficient farm. They want your farm, they want you to be continually improving how you do things, right? And in some cases, as we've seen in some countries, if you don't move fast enough, if you don't embrace ecological standards or the types of things that they really want to support fast enough, they'll start regulating it. And that's what's happened in Sri Lanka about a year ago. That's what's happened in the Netherlands, now Canada. And certain countries are just taking it upon themselves to say, hey, you can no longer continue to grow and use all this nitrogen fertilizer because it's poisoning the environment, it's going back into greenhouse gases, etc. And so some of these countries are actually regulating how much nitrogen farmers can use. And of course, farmers are understandably upset by this. It's like, okay, you mean you're just going to tell us, okay, by next year, I'm supposed to just completely change my operation that I've been doing the same way for the last 30 or 40 years? I'm supposed to just change it overnight? And of course, that's a problem. So, but we're not talking about that necessarily in this particular episode. Of course, I'm not necessarily in agreement with regulation. I do want to help farmers grow healthier and better quality fruits and vegetables with lower input costs, and I want to help them do so that's better for the environment so they don't have to worry about these regulations. But whether you're a part of this or not, I think one thing you can all agree on is if you are improving your farm on a consistent basis, if you're constantly doing things and trying new things and improving ways to grow your fruits and vegetables, then your farm is going to be more healthy and more profitable as you go forward. So today I want to talk about the research and development tax credit. So what is this credit? So the federal government, and again, most state governments also have a form of tax credit where you can, if you're investing in your farm, if you're investing in the infrastructure of your farm, if you're doing some research and development to look at new ways and better ways of farming to make your farm more efficient and make your farm, make your farm, better and more environmentally friendly, better quality, etc. If you're doing these types of things and trying products like ours, situation, then you can offset up to, I think it's $20,000. Maybe it's more than that. I have to double check, but there's a certain limit that you can take off. But essentially, you can deduct a certain percentage of that off of your taxes. Now, this is important because obviously, if you're doing the right things and trying to evolve and trying to continually improve your processes and your inputs and everything else to make your operation better, you should be rewarded for that. And that's what the government is trying to do. They're trying to say, look, we want you guys to make your farming operation more efficient. We want to help you guys use less inputs. We want to help you use less water. So if you're doing these types of activities to help make your farm more efficient, you can take some of this tax burden off of yourself and reduce your tax bill. So if you don't know that much information about this or you want more resources, then let us know. In fact, I'll put I'm going to put a different one. You have science here. I'm going to put a different email here. If you email us at service@harvestharmonics.com, we can get you in touch with some financial tax experts that can walk you through how to use the system and how to reduce your tax bill for this year, for 2022 here. So And the good thing is if you continually use products like the crop booster from Kyminasi or other types of things on an ongoing basis, you can take this off year over year. So if you have annualized costs associated with this, you can deduct those costs from your tax bills and save yourself quite a bit of money on your overall tax burden. Now, nobody likes to pay taxes, even though we all do. Nobody likes to do that. And of course, if you can reduce your tax bill and put more money in your pocket, why wouldn't you do that? Now, for those of you guys who are wondering what this Kyminasi Plant Booster is, if you haven't seen one of our shows before, I want to show you just a brief explanation of this new technology that is the future of farming. It is the way most farming will go in the next several several years, and most farming is going to be converting to this method, mainly because the Kyminasi crop booster is just much more efficient. It kind of boils down to the fact that if you can make your farm 20, 30, 40% more efficient, then of course, not only are you going to make more money, be more profitable, but you're going to have a competitive advantage that's going to drive your competitors either out of business or they're going to have to follow what you're doing. Because if you're going 10 tons of a vegetable per acre or 100 tons per acre and your competition is only doing 50 or 60, then obviously that economy of scale is going to hurt the competition and they're going to have to adopt this new technology. So if you're wondering what this is and how and why this would be something that you can utilize in terms of a research and development tax credit, I'm going to show you this right now. So the technology that I'm going to show you here is called biophysics. Okay, we're Harvest Harmonics, and our mission is to help farmers around the world grow healthier, better quality crops with lower input costs. We want to help farmers achieve higher yields without harming the environment, and of course, rejuvenating the Earth's ecology with new advanced technology in organic life. So biophysics applied to agriculture is kind of a new term for a lot of farmers, but biophysics has been around for many, many years. In fact, it's been around since the early 40s, I believe, where they've been using the laws of physics to measure various things in living things. Now, you all may be familiar with things like MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, and those types of technologies. X-rays could be considered a form of biophysics. And some of these different machines that doctors use in the medical field, we're also able to use in the agricultural field to determine how healthy that plant is. Now, it turns like any living thing on this planet all has biological systems that are timed to set frequency patterns. And those frequencies regulate how efficient that biological system is in generating energy and utilizing that energy for its growth and its reproduction. Mr. Fulvio Baumelli, who invented this technology, has been using biophysics to treat people of a variety of diseases for over 30 years now, and he's developed this technology for plants in order to help people eat healthier. Now, in his research, Mr. Baumelli studied thousands of varieties of plants, and he discovered that healthy, productive plants have frequency patterns associated with their biological systems that are very consistent and organized. And he can measure it, and when he does measure that with his biophysical equipment, it gives off wave patterns that look very consistent and very organized, just like you see here. However, when the same type of plant is under various forms of stress, like heat stress, for example, in this picture, those biological systems are distorted and disorganized. And because of that, the efficiency at which they can produce energy through photosynthesis is dramatically reduced. With our system, we're able to make plants more efficient by just introducing the correct signaling pattern or frequency patterns to unhealthy plants, and we're able to bring them back to a state of health, make them a lot more resilient to insects and other types of stress factors, and of course, most importantly, make farmers quite a bit more money by increasing their yields and improving the quality of their food. Now, this technology is delivered through an advanced system, but it's very easy to use. We have small micro transmitters, which look like the size of a computer chip here. It's about 1 inch in diameter. And we program the Kyminasi technology onto these transmitters and then attach them to an irrigation system. It turns out that the flow of water in an irrigation system allows us to send these wave patterns, these wave pulses into the water, and the water acts as a carrier wave to the plants. And when plants absorb this technology, it improves the efficiency of their photosynthesis as well as the overall soil health. And by doing that, we dramatically increase the productivity of plants, but we also reduce a lot of the problems like insects and funguses and diseases that farmers typically have to deal with. So using the Kyminasi technology is going to benefit you not only in terms of getting a good yield and good plant growth, but it will also rebuild the soil over time. And that's going to be tremendously important in terms of reducing fertilizer usage and other inputs so that you can maximize your profits. Now, the real benefit is because you're able to reduce fertilizer usage and water usage on the farm, and because you're making your farm a lot more efficient in terms of how you're generating your yields, that qualifies as a research and development project, and your crop booster system will be able to be claimed as a research and development product. So if you're if you're already if you're wanting to improve your farm, and you already want to do things that are going to make your farm more profitable, you also should know that you should be claiming these things for research and development tax credits so you can reduce your tax bill. Now, at Harvest Harmonics, we don't have any specific recommendations as far as that is concerned. Again, if you want a consultant or you want to find out more information, you can either ask your tax consultant or your accountant, or if you want specific people that we are connected to, specific tax lawyers and tax accountants that have a lot of familiarity with this, again, just email us at service@harvestharmonics.com. We'll be happy to share the contact information of these other firms that specialize in this activity. But most importantly, start using the Kyminasi Crop Booster on your farm now. You'll see higher yields, reduced input costs, and you can deduct it from your tax bill. It's a win-win-win situation. Everybody wins in this. We all win because we get healthier food to eat. You win because you make more money. And of course, we'll have a better environment as well. So if you have any questions, please email us and let's work together on that to help you become part of the future of farming today. Have a great day, guys.